Have you ever been in a heated argument, and instead of yelling back, the other person just goes completely quiet? Most people assume that silence means they are retreating, that they don't have an answer, or that they're just too intimidated to speak up. But psychology reveals a completely different reality. That silence isn't submission. In many cases, it is the ultimate display of psychological control. Let's break down exactly what is happening inside the mind of someone who stays silent during a conflict and why it is actually a sign of intense mental strength. 1. They are observing your emotional baseline. When an argument erupts, most people get swept up in the adrenaline. They react to the volume, the tone, and the anger. But people who stay quiet shift instantly into an observational state. Psychologists call this cognitive distancing. They detach from the immediate emotion and start analyzing why you are reacting the way you are. They aren't ignoring you, they are studying you. They are reading the insecurities and triggers hiding behind your words, which gives them the upper hand without speaking a single syllable. 2. They refuse to match chaotic energy. Chaos thrives on participation. If someone yells, human nature tells us to yell louder to be heard. But highly emotionally intelligent people understand that matching someone else's erratic energy is a loss of self-control. By staying silent, they establish an emotional boundary. Psychology refers to this as self-regulation. They are silently communicating that they will not let your temporary loss of control dictate their internal peace. Their silence starves the argument of the fuel it needs to survive. 3. They are calculating the cost of their words. People who react instantly often say things they regret because their brain is operating in survival mode. The silent arguer is doing something much more advanced. They are running a rapid risk assessment. They are calculating the consequences of everything they could say in that exact moment. They know that once words leave their mouth, they can never be taken back. This isn't hesitation, it is strategic restraint. They prefer the discomfort of silence over the collateral damage of impulsive anger. 4. They recognize a battle of ego versus a search for resolution. Some arguments are designed to solve a problem, others are just designed to protect an ego. People who stay quiet are incredibly fast at identifying the difference. If they realize you are only fighting to prove you are right rather than trying to find a solution, their brain simply shuts down the engagement. They recognize that arguing with an inflated ego is a waste of cognitive bandwidth. They stay quiet because they know logic cannot defeat an emotional need to be right. 5. They are protecting their own mental bandwidth. Conflict is neurologically exhausting. It spikes cortisol, triggers the fight or flight response, and drains your energy reserves. People who default to silence often have a high value for their own mental clarity. They don't view every conflict as an invitation they must accept. They treat their peace as a premium currency, and they refuse to spend it on conversations that go in circles. Their silence is a protective shield around their mental health. 6. They understand the power of the pause. In any negotiation or conflict, the person who speaks first after a long pause usually loses. Silence is incredibly uncomfortable for the human brain. When someone stays quiet, it forces the other person to sit with their own words, often leading them to over-explain, backpedal, or reveal their true intentions. The silent person uses the absence of sound as a psychological mirror, forcing the aggressive person to look at their own behavior. So, the next time someone stays completely quiet when you expect them to fight back, don't mistake their quietness for weakness. They aren't losing the argument, they are simply refusing to play a game they didn't agree to. Their silence isn't a lack of words, it's an abundance of control. If you are the kind of person who uses silence as a strategy, or if you just love understanding the hidden psychology behind the way people act, hit that subscribe button right now. Because on this channel, we don't just react to the noise, we decode the mind.